Former homeless people, what did you need the most? What was the best thing someone did for you? For me it was socks. Shoes too. But the simplest thing of socks made me feel better about myself. When it was cold I could pull out a pair or four to use on my feet or hands. Gifted me an old baggy waterproof jacket with a big hood. It had many pockets too. A little large to carry around, since I was carrying a lot of other stuff too, but proved very useful. It was very rainy at that time. Hygiene. Anyone who let me take a shower and shave was an angel. Employment. I wasn't addicted and wasn't mentally ill, but I had legal trouble, and employers aren't going to hire someone who is probably going to jail 5 months from now. I had to work under the table for like $4 per hour. If there had been a way for me to get a decent temp job I could have probably got a **TTY apartment for the interim. I was able to secure a spot in a church basement for a little while. The nicest thing anyone did was one of the people from church brought me a Super Nintendo and a stack of games to help keep the boredom and loneliness at bay. Clean socks and underwear and basic hygiene. The best thing a person did for me was explain to me that nobody gives a **K about me except me and my family. That conversation went a long way to me stopping shooting up in alleys and getting a career. My wife was homeless as a teenager. On Friday afternoons, a businessman would walk up to her and ask her if she was hungry. She would say yes, and he would take her into the restaurant on the corner. She never felt any danger with him, and she has had to cut somebody badly before. He was just some dude offering her a meal. He would let her get anything in the menu. He would sit and read the paper and drink a cup of coffee. There was never any conversation. When he was finished, he would pay the bill and leave. There was never any exchange of words other than "you hungry?" and "have what you want?" and "have a good afternoon." This happened multiple times. She never felt like a project to him. She never felt less than him. She never felt in danger. He was just a guy who saw a dirty girl on the street who needed to eat. She has since gotten her JED, graduated from a trade school with a fitness degree, and now has earned her MBA with honors. She is an amazing woman and an amazing mother. The one wish she has is that she can run into the businessman who bought her lunches and thank him. Showers and a place to wash your clothes, to save as much money for food, to be able to get dollar menu items and feed yourself 3 times off $5 and some change. Not sure if living in the car counts as homeless though, but a 93 Accord ain't exactly a home. I work in downtown and see these guys in a park every morning sleeping on the grass. Would it be weird if just brought them breakfast one day? I feel bad and have never spoken to them, but I bet they will be there tomorrow morning. Somewhere to sleep. Without sleep nothing works right. 15 years ago the most crucial things we needed were impossible, like a mailing address, phone number, toilet, and water. We'd keep a payphone under watch for those hard get calls. Trying to get a job, housing, anything. The basics are hard. Now phones are cheap, but water and toilet are still real needs. Addresses are still tricky but easier as we rely on a location less and digital info more. Public transportation is still ridiculous. You have to spend a day or two convincing the system you need it free, otherwise you'll be out what little you can make in a 3 transit path. Aged out of foster care, nowhere to go but a squat house. I was what Utah folks called a planter box kid. Spent a year doing any job and every job I possibly could to get out of it. Then I joined the army. Spent 4 years as a soldier and failed a marriage, which meant when I got a medical discharge after my deployment I was homeless again. Spent a little while in a veteran group home, but they only give you 90 days to get a place and get out. My disability pay wasn't enough for rent, but I went to a day labor and stood with the Mexicans at Home Depot for odd jobs. Finally my best friend offered me to move back home to Texas so work as a ranch hand for her dad. So I moved back to Texas. She became a huge advocate for me with the vow, and now I run a ranch. I'm off all my pain/psychoactive drugs and haven't been drunk in 3 years. Oh, and now my best friend is my wife. We have 4 kids. Showers and laundry facilities. A place to sleep and shower. Yeah, I'd be amazed how much you'd value a good night's sleep on a couch or a bed, then in the morning having a shower. A close second to those was actually someone taking my situation seriously and helped me through it. My situation was an odd one. I was considered too unstable mentally to hold down a job, yet I still had to work because while I was considered by doctors and mental health professionals to be unstable, by my country's F***KED sense of what poverty is / I couldn't claim any benefits. It didn't help that the one benefit I was entitled to was withheld from me by a vindictive housing officer, and my abusive mother would steal most my money I got. I can only speak about my homeless experience, but I had a point where I was at the lowest point, and it took 2 suicide attempts to actually get any help for my issue. I left an abusive relationship, and turns out he was right. I had nowhere to go. I slept under a train and shoplifted what few basics I couldn't go without, which, frankly, I still don't regret. F*** the Waltons. And got a job at a Burger King. I mean, being homeless and all meant that my hygiene was horrible. Cut off all my hair to hide it, but there's a certain point where you can't anymore. One of my managers pulled me aside and asked me what was up. She called out, sweetly as she could, the red flags she'd seen. My self-harm scars, my hygiene, the breakdown I had when my ex came through the drive-thru, and I'm pretty sure she already knew what was up, at least somewhat. She started scheduling all of our shifts to overlap and taking me home with her, not far from my nest spot, so I could shower and eat dinner with her and her kid. Kinda just took me in as best she could. The shower was nice, so was the food. But the experience of someone giving a **T was what helped. Quite honestly. Tampons. People who let us wash clothes or shower at their place. A gym membership for the showers and such. Still homeless but not on the streets. What'll do I need the most? A job. What's the best thing someone's done for me? Someone willing to take a chance. When you're homeless and people find out, it usually results in a negative change in their perception of you. Particularly in the perceptions held by those who could potentially be employers and landlords. That's if you choose to disclose the information. Easy to do with employment if you're capable of staying physically clean, i.e. regular showers and trips to a laundromat. Not so easy to do with a potential landlord, as you have to disclose your rental history. When you tell people you're homeless, you're bound to get people who will treat you with disdain. People who assume you're homeless because of some vice like drugs, alcohol, gambling, etc. There are many reasons for why someone is homeless that have nothing to do with how responsible you may or may not be, such as natural disasters, fires, floods, illness, or injury, and escaping dangerous situations like domestic violence. I'm not homeless because I'm irresponsible or addicted to some substance, illegal or otherwise. I'm homeless because life threw a wrench at my head and then started beating me with it while I was down. I had a clean rental history, no evictions or anything of the like, and I worked 40 to 60 hours a week to afford my bills, which took priority over everything. I could afford rent, but nobody believed I would pay it just because I was homeless. There's a guy who I see every time I'm leaving my gym. Has got a shopping cart and all his possessions including a little dog. He holds a sign that says anything helps my dog and I appreciate it. I bought a box of dog biscuits yesterday when I was getting my own cat food, and I plan to give it to him today after my workout. This thread convinced me to add a $5 to it. Even if I'm a sucker, BC has got a dog with him, that's okay. Obligatory, not formally homeless, but my buddy was. And from our experience I would say a place to stay, shower, wash clothes, and some structure. I took him in for as long as he needed, rent-free under the condition that he gets through school and gets a job. Now he is a drafter/designer, has his own place and a nice car. I'm so proud of him and glad that I opened my door to him when everyone else had shut him out. Not the homeless man, but this is what a homeless man said to me. I had gone to a cafe and gotten myself a donut and frappuccino. I enjoyed the frappuccino and was left too full for the donut. When I walked out the cafe, there was this homeless man begging. I have him the donut and told him to enjoy it. He said, "This is the nicest thing someone did for me this week. Please remember, homeless people are people first and foremost. Talk to them every now and then. Listen to them, share your time, share some food with them. They deserve love just as much as everyone else. My auntie was homeless, and she said the best thing was when a laundromat lady who had taken a liking to her offered her shower and a pair of clean clothes to borrow for a job interview. My auntie got the job and built her way up from there. Make sure to like and subscribe for more daily content. Thanks for watching.